Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Maybe we can sing some other bhajan also, Mother.
No,
Hare
Mataji,
Krishna.
just because
Thank you so much. No problem, Mataji. We can stop here. The speaker is also, waiting for us. And Uma Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, sure,
You
Mataji.
can recite the 3 shlokas, please, for everybody. Sadhu Sevan Prabhu, you are co-host now. Can you check your, whether you are able to share your screen? Sadhu Sevan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, I can hear you. Okay. Prabhu, so before you start your Mangala Charan, Uma Mataji wants to recite the initial 3 shlokas. Yeah.
Okay.
So once she's done, then you can start with Mangala Charan and your class. Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah. Okay,
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare
You
Krishna,
need-
Prabhuji.
you want me to
Dandavata
share this? You want me to share the shlokas, Mataji?
No, Mataji, I have.
Okay.
I will go.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadhyasya yatonmayaditaratah Sharteshvabhignasvarat Tene Brahmarudayakadikavaye Muhyanti Yatsurayah Tejo Vari Mrudam Yatha Vinimayo Yatra Trisargo Mrusha Dhamna Svena Sada Nirastakuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi Dharma Prochita Kaitavotra Paramo Nirmatsaranam Satam Vedyam Vastavamatra Vastu Shivadam Tapatrayonmulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krute Kim va Parairishvaraha Satyorudya Varudyate Krutibihi Shushrushrubhisvakshanat Nigamakалпатарorgalitam palam Shukamukadamrutadravasamyutam Pibata Bhagavatam rasamalayam Muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha Hare Krishna, Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.
Thank you so much, Mataji. It was very melodious. Keep it up. I hope tomorrow we can hear from somebody else. So if you can declare yourself, your name, before today's class ends. Thank you, everybody. Over to you, Sadhu Sevan Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my respectful obeisances. Sorry for joining late. And we start with the today's verses 25 onwards. 25 till 29. So, as the name of the chapter itself says, that Krishna is the source of all incarnations.
Prabhu, we want to do Mangala Charan. Sorry.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devem Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayam Udiraye Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavti Nastaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Krishna. So, welcome once again to today's session of Srimad Bhagavatam. And we were discussing, as the name of the chapter itself says, that Krishna is the source of all incarnations. So, this chapter is a wonderful opportunity for us to know what all incarnations Krishna took. Okay, but as we will read as part of today's discussion also, that that Krishna has innumerable incarnations. The very good foundation of today's shloka can be the very first shloka of Chaturshloki Bhagavad Gita. Right? Aham sarvasya prabhavo, right?
Matta sarvam pravartate.
Matta sarvam pravartate.
Yadi matva bhajante mam. Buddha bhava samannita.
Yes. So anything that we see around us, okay, all are everything has emanated from the Lord, and it has source in the Lord. So when we say everything has emanated from the Lord, it means, for example, we have a fan in our house. That fan, that ingredients required to make the fan, that have come from the Lord. And not only that, the electricity which is used to make the fan function has also come from the Lord. So if we try to find any exception to this fact that maybe this has not come from the Lord, no, that is not possible. Another very good, nice way of understanding the importance of today's discussion is Srimad Bhagavatam represents the entire 12 limbs, right? 12 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam represents the 12 limbs of the part of the body of the Lord. And then Canto 1 and Canto 2 are called the creation. First canto is basically for primary creation, and second is for secondary creation, where Brahmaji creates this material world. Right? So Canto 1 and Canto 2 are considered to be the lotus feet of the Lord. And most importantly, Srila Prabhupada, he did not know how much time he is going to remain on this material world, okay, on this earth. Prabhupada was never in material world. Sorry for that. Prabhupada did not know how much time he is going to be there on this earth. So he has put all the philosophy, anything which is important for our Krishna consciousness, it is part of Canto 1. So that is how the important the Canto 1 is. And in that, getting an opportunity to understand the incarnations of the Lord is further okay, because this gives us an opportunity. When we go to school or college, we don't they don't teach us all the problems of the life that we are going to face. They give us a foundation, and with that foundation, it helps us to solve other problems that we are going to face in our life. Now, it is just a small analogy. So, chapter 3 of this first canto is not describing all the incarnations of the Lord. It is giving us an opportunity that the Lord has appeared in so many incarnations. And then the journey begins. Okay. Without taking more time, we start with today's verse. May I request Prabhuji or Mataji to please raise your hands if you want to read the purport. And yes, Prabhuji.
Guruji, voice break is there.
Prabhuji.
Voice is breaking.
Shall
Okay.
I
Yeah.
read? Shall I
Prabhu,
recite this
please.
sloka?
Yes, Prabhu, yes.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Prabhuji, yes, please.
Namo Bhagavate.
Let me do something for the voice. Please continue reciting, Prabhuji.
Hare no. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sutta Uvacha. Jagruhe Paurisham Rupam Bhagavan Mahadadivihi Sambhutam
Prabhuji, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Shodasekalaya Amada. Huh? Prabhuji?
Prabhuji, it is from 25. Atha, so this much, Prabhuji.
Oh, first I have seen some test ones. I thought that I missed one class. Okay.
No, sorry.
Like, I have to turn the page. 1 minute. Hare Krishna Prabhu, sorry. Bejare Muniyo Dadagre Bhagavanta Madhochajam Sattvam Visuddham Shemaya Kalpante Yonu Taniha. Hare
Prabhu,
Krishna.
I'm sorry. I've shared my screen. It is text 25, Prabhuji.
Text 25, na? Sloka 25.
Yes.
Sloka 25, second
Yeah,
canto.
translation
Second
you have to
chapter.
read. Prabhuji.
First canto.
Chapter 3, Prabhuji. Chapter 3, 25th sloka.
First canto, first canto.
So until Prabhuji finds out that, may I request Archana Mataji to please continue?
Somebody read. I will read. Next sloka. I will say.
Artha
Adho. Okay.
Hare Krishna. You please carry on, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
I create a lot of confusion. Huh? Please excuse me all. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Adhasau Yoga Sandhyayam Dasyuprayeshu Rajasu Janita Vishnu Yasoso Namna Kalki Jagatpatihi. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, okay na?
Yes, Prabhuji, yes. Wonderful, Prabhu. Yes. Archana Mataji, can you please read the
Translation
purport?
by... Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Thereafter, at the conjunction of two yugas, the Lord of the creation will take his birth as the Kalki incarnation and become the son of Vishnu Yasa. At this time, almost all the rulers of the earth will have degenerated into plunderers. Purport. Here is another foretelling of the advent of Lord Kalki, the incarnation of Godhead. He is to appear at the conjunction of two yugas, namely at the end of Kali Yuga and the beginning of Satya Yuga. The cycle of 4 yugas, namely Satya, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali, rotates like a calendar month. The present Kali Yuga lasts 432,000 years, out of which we have passed only 5,000 years after Battle of Kurukshetra and end of the reign of King Parikshit. So there are 427,000 years balance yet to be finished. Therefore, at the end of this period, the incarnation of Kalki will take place as a foretold in Srimad Bhagavatam. The name of his father Vishnu Yasa, a learned Brahmana, and the village Sambala are also mentioned. As above mentioned, all these foretellings will prove to be factual in the chronological order. That is the authority of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranams.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So we discuss about the Lord Kalaki incarnation. So Prabhupada has mentioned there are 432,000 years, out of which 5,000 years are left. But if we see the speed with which the Kali Yuga is progressing within our small lifespan of 40 to 50 years of last, right? I mean, this Janma itself, we can see.
Voice is very low, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Let me speak a bit louder. Hare Krishna. Is it better, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yes. So, Srila Prabhupada says that in this Kali Yuga, first 10,000 years, it is a golden period. Actually speaking, it is not a Kali Yuga. It is a golden Yuga. And within this golden Yuga itself, if we are finding the things becoming more and more difficult, then we cannot imagine how the life is going to be after the 10,000 years. There is nothing to scare anybody, because by default, we don't get scared. If we would have got scared, we would not have been here today. So if any one of us have this thought that by taking the help of the fear factor, somebody can surrender to the Lord, no, that is not going to work. Our Lord does everything. Everything means everything, except forcing any jiva to surrender to him. So we always have the free will with us. Okay. Now, one ISKCON sannyasi was telling in his class that the Chitragupta, he is complaining to Yamraja. He is saying, what has happened in this age? My business is going very, very low. I'm not getting many souls. It might look surprising to us, but because we heard it from the authorized source, so yes, we can believe it. Now, and as the answer of this, Yamraja what tells to Chitragupta is that this is the Chaitanya Yuga. If in our lifetime, okay, this is very, very hard statement, very, very powerful one. If in our lifetime, by any means, if we can make a person to chant the holy name of the Lord, then he is not going to take the animal form of the life for sure. How this process works, how can it be so easy? If we can pause those questions based on the strength, based on the injunctions in the Shastras, right? Sakrad Ucharitam Yena, Padma Puran Shloka. Sakrad Ucharitam Yena, Harir Itte Aksharam Dvayam, Baddha Parikaras Yena, Mokshaya Gamnam Prati. So, Sakrad Ucharitam means, Sakrad means once. If a person recites once, only once, what does he recite? Sakrad Ucharitam Yena, Hari. Hari is a word which is made up of two letters, Ha and Ri. Hari Itya Aksharam Dvayam. Hari word which is made up of two letters. Okay. Then Baddha Parikaras Yena, how much ever conditioned a living being may be, his path, right? Baddha Parikaras Yena, how much ever conditioned he may be. Mokshaya Gamnam Prati. His path towards the liberation begins. So we have no idea what we have got. And then another learning from this purport is, if anybody in the world says that I am so and so incarnation of the Lord, then this chapter with sufficient number of proofs, right? It is proving that in the village Sambala and the name of the parents Vishnu Yasha, everything is mentioned here, and it will happen towards the end of Kali Yuga and at the beginning of the Satya Yuga. And at that time, there will be no Krishna consciousness on this world. So we don't have to wait, because if we just look at our life, if we rewind ourselves to say not 50 years, not 40 years, just rewind our life by 10 years. Okay, just imagine if 10 years back we are put into sleep, and suddenly if we wake up today, and if we look at the world today, how it is going on, we will not be able to believe. And this is just 10 years out of the scale of 4,32,000 years. This is the golden opportunity. 10,000 years is gone. If we don't do it in this lifetime, the time which is going to come forward is going to be even more difficult. There will be time when even following the four regulative principles, especially no violence, no meat eating, right? that is going to be impossible because there will be no grains. How will we follow it? So we must appreciate what we have got. And then it is very near, not only this Kali Yuga, 4,32,000 years, but infinite number of Kali Yugas we have been struggling. And there was never a time, because today what we are able to discuss about Krishna consciousness, this is a result of our previous bhakti account. So it does not mean that our Krishna consciousness account was zero in the last life. But then it is a question of introspection. Every one of us have to introspect among ourselves that what has happened if my Krishna consciousness, if my bhakti account was not zero, because this is how we could start in this lifetime. We have got the association of the Lord through the devotees. So what was missing in the previous life, and what mistake I must avoid? This body, we never know. It is very fragile. in a day, anything can happen. And once again, I want to repeat, it is not to scare anybody, because we never get scared. Otherwise, we would have not been here. It's very simple. Right? So choice is ours, what we want to do. Yes, next one, Sindhu Mataji. Hare Krishna. Sindhu Mataji, can you please read the 26th verse? Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Sindhu Mataji, no.
Okay.
She is not in the field. No, Deval Mataji is ready. She is
Yes,
let she
yes, Deval Mataji,
recite,
please.
Prabhuji.
Sure, Prabhuji. Deval
Hare
Mataji, please
Krishna,
read.
Prabhuji.
Yes.
Yes. Avtaraya ashankheya hare sattva nidher dvijaha yatha vedashina kulyaha sarasha syu sahasrashaha. Should I read the translation also, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. But I also request other devotees to raise your hand so that I can call accordingly.
Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Brahmanas, the incarnations of the Lord are innumerable, like rivulets flowing from inexhaustible sources of water. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes, Divya Desai Mataji, can you please read the purport?
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The list of incarnations of the personality of Godhead given herein is not complete. It is only a partial view of all the incarnations. There are many others such as Sri Haigrava, Hayagriva, Hari, Hamsa, Rishni Garbha, Vibhu, Satya, Sena, Vaikunta, Sattva, Bhauma, Vivaksena, Dharma, Setu, Sudhama, Yogeshwara, Brahad, Banu, and others of the bygone ages. Sri Prahlada Maharaja said in his prayer, "My Lord, you manifest as many incarnations as there are species of life, namely the aquatics, the vegetables, the reptiles, the birds, the beasts, and the men, the demigods, etc., just for the maintenance of the faithful and the annihilation of the unfaithful. You advent yourself in this way in accordance with the necessity of the different yugas. In the Kali Yuga, you have incarnated, garbed as a devotee. This incarnation of the Lord in the Kali Yuga is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There are many other places, both in the Bhagavatam and in other scriptures, in which the incarnation of the Lord as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explicitly mentioned. In the Brahma Samhita also it is said indirectly that although there are many incarnations of the Lord, such as Rama, Nrsimha, Varaha, Matsya, Kurma, and many others, the Lord himself sometimes incarnates in person. Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are not therefore incarnations, but the original source of all other incarnations. This will be clearly explained in the next sloka. So the Lord is the inexhaustible source for innumerable incarnations which are not always mentioned, but such incarnations are described distinguished by specific extraordinary feats which are impossible to be performed by any living beings. That is the general test to identify an incarnation of the Lord directly and indirectly empowered. Some incarnations mentioned above are almost plenary portions. For instance, the Kumaras are empowered with transcendental knowledge. Sri Narada is empowered with devotional service. Maharaja Prutu is empowered incarnations with executive functions. The Matsya incarnation is directly a plenary portion. So the innumerable incarnations of the Lord are manifested all over the universe constantly without cessation as water flows constantly from waterfalls. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna. So, as this verse very nicely mentions, O Brahmanas, the incarnation of the Lord are innumerable, like the rivulets flowing from inexhaustible shores of water. So, like the water has so many waves, right? We cannot count them. Similar to that, there are so many incarnations of the Lord. So, now, in this regard, His Holiness Indradyumna Swami Maharaj, he was telling in during one of his visit to Bangalore, was mentioning that for Prahlad Maharaj, right? For Prahlad Maharaj, one devotee and one incarnation, Lord Narasimhadev. So our Lord is so great, right? He does not care whether it is just one devotee and I should send somebody. No, the Lord goes himself. There is a very nice story in this regard by Akbar and Birbal. Okay, and then I'm sure most of us will know that. Let me just mute. Yeah. Okay. So once Birbal asked to Akbar that, sorry, it was Akbar who was asking Birbal that your Lord had so many people working for him. Whenever a devotee is in danger, why does he not send somebody else? Why does he come himself? And then Birbal said, okay, I will demonstrate it to you. I will not answer, I will demonstrate it. And after a few days, Birbal takes it's a fake baby, okay, which resembles like the grandson of Akbar. And then showing to Akbar, he throws that baby into the water. And then the Akbar immediately runs and jumps into the water to save that baby. And when he comes back, he's shouting at Birbal like anything. What is this joke? Why did you throw? And it's not even a baby. What do you want to prove? And Birbal told, I wanted to demonstrate the question that you had asked. If you had so many people around you, you could ask anyone, and all of them are ready to sacrifice even their life. Jumping into the water is nothing. And then Akbar understands. So, well, what is there in it for us? There is a lot of hope. Okay, Lord does not wait when we are into problem, and when we are calling the Lord into with the intense feeling. Prahlad Maharaj was one example. Draupadi, Gajendra, Dhruva, right? Mother Kunti. So many examples are there. Lord does not care. He was the one who drove the chariot of Arjuna. Becoming a chariot driver is a very, very menial work. How much ever close a friend is to us, we will not become we will not ask the friend to sit behind and I will drive it for you. At least most of the time. I'm not saying exceptions, most of the times, right? But Krishna chose to become a chariot driver. And we are just a prayer away from the Lord. And the prayer also, we don't have to reinvent. All these beautiful prayers by the greatest devotees of the Lord's, if we just repeat, because these are the Uttama Shloka, chosen words to glorify the Lord's. If we just repeat their prayers, even if we don't have the mood, bhava, knowledge, nothing to worry. Dhruva was only 5 years old and he did not know the vocabulary itself, how to glorify the Lord. And when the Lord touched the head of Dhruva with his conch shell, all the knowledge got imparted, and this is how Dhruva started Dhruva Stuti. So when we have to take the shelter, um, we must hear. I mean, there are three types of people, right? One who just hears and becomes careful, and then follows that thing. Second is who does not become alert, but he just sees, experiences it once, and then he becomes alert. And the third category is we experience it so many times, life after life, and still do not become alert. It is, please remember, I'm saying for all of us, including myself, it is not our school assignment, which if we miss, we can do it next day. And it is not one day also. We have been given this life. In this life, there are so many days. Once a devotee asked Srila Prabhupada that how long it takes to surrender to the Lord. And Prabhupada was boarding into a train, and then he has to answer immediately. And Prabhupada just answered 2 minutes. We are just waiting for those 2 minutes in our life when we surrender completely to the Lord. Yesterday was the Vijayadashmi, right? And one of the Charam Shloka, very, very favorite of mine. It is called the topmost shloka of the Ramayana. The essence of entire Ramayana is there in this one shloka. So, Sakrad eva parpannaya tavasmiti cha yachate abhyam sarva bhutebhyo dadami etat vrtam mama. If a person just says once in his lifetime that, "Oh Lord Rama, I am yours," then the responsibility of that person, not only in that life, but all the lifetimes going forward, Lord Rama is taking this vow that it is my responsibility. So, and that is the beauty of our scriptures and remaining in the association. Prabhupada is saying 2 minutes. Lord Ramchandra is saying, if a person just surrenders once, right? So all are coinciding, like they're telling the same language. And that Sakratu Charitam Shloka also once, right? So that is the, how many things are there which we cannot understand. Then only when it comes to our spiritual life, why do we become so adamant that first I want to see the Lord and then I will do it, right? So Lord, Srila Prabhupada says, we can see Naam, Roop, Guna, Leela, Dham, all of those things will manifest. How? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When we chant, and when we chant in the mood of complete surrender, then the very same holy name will make everything else manifest. We don't have to do anything else. If a person has got 105 fever and somehow his fever has become 103, then to bring the fever back to 98.6 means the normal condition, he does not have to do anything new. He has to just repeat what brought the fever down from 105 to 103. So today, yes, we are all struggling sadhakas. We are not there yet. It is fine. In one of the discussion, one devotee was asking that when I chant, then so many tears started coming from my eyes, and I'm not able to chant. It's a completely new devotee, never has much experience of Krishna consciousness in his life. So when we see these instances, it proves our bhakti is not the business of this lifetime only, because that soul has not started. I mean, for now it is the very beginning of right, Krishna consciousness in this life. But hearing these lines really helps in boosting up our confidence. Okay, so we move forward. Yes, I see. Sudha Mataji, can you please read the words and the
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I'm audible, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, very much. Yes.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Text 27. Rishayo manavo deva manoputra mahauchasa kala sarve harereva saprajapataya smrita. Translation as Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All the rishis, manus, demigods, and descendants of Manu who are especially powerful are plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. This also includes the Prajapatis. Purport also, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji,
Purport,
yes, you can read. It's good.
purport, those who are comparatively less powerful are called Vibhuti, and those who are comparatively more powerful are called Avesha incarnations. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So, when we read the different incarnations of the Lord, there is a complete chart: Satya Avesha, Leela Avatar, Guna Avatar. So one of them is Satya Avesha Avatar, the souls which are more specifically God. Srila Prabhupada is said to be Satya Avesha. And actually, Hare Krishna, am I audible?
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Cracking. Your voice is cracking a little bit.
Prabhuji, you asked something or someone is reading?
Prabhuji, you
Hare
are
Krishna.
muted. You are in mute. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, you're
Hare
muted.
Krishna, am I audible, Prabhuji, Mataji?
No,
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm not able to hear.
Yeah, someone is reading, Prabhuji, next sloka or? Hare Krishna.
you be ready, Mataji. You can.
Shall I start?
Shall we wait, Mataji? Ask Prabhuji.
Okay. I'm not, his voice is not audible.
Ah.
Looks like low signal for Prabhuji.
Internet unstable. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, I lost the voice. I hope it is better now. Hare Krishna. Is it audible
Yes,
now?
Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. You
Yes,
can hear.
Prabhuji, you're audible. But
Okay. Yeah. Yes, Hare Krishna. So now goes the next sloka, 28th. This is very, very important sloka. We'll go a little faster. Yes. Archana Mataji, can you please read this sloka again? 20th. Sloka
Hare
and
Krishna Prabhuji, actually Sindhu Mataji is raising her hands to read.
okay.
Yes, another Archana Mataji is there. Sorry, Prabhuji, I thought you're calling me. Hare Krishna. Sorry, Prabhuji.
Okay, Prabhuji, shall I start? Am I audible?
Yes, Mataji, please start.
Mataji, am I audible? Okay.
Yes.
Sloka 28, Pranam Prabhuji. Ete cham sakala pumsah Krishnasthu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. Read the translation. Translation and purport by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All of the above mentioned incarnations are either planetary portions or portions of the planetary portions of the Lord, but Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by the atheist. The Lord incarnates to protect the theist. Purport. In this particular stanza, Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, is distinguished from other incarnations. He is counted amongst the avatars incarnations because out of his causeless mercy, the Lord descends from his transcendental abode. Avatara means one who descends. All the incarnations of the Lord, including the Lord himself, descend to the different planets of the material world as also in different species of life to fulfill particular missions. Sometimes he comes himself, and sometimes his different planetary portions or parts of the planetary portions or his differentiated portions, directly or indirectly empowered by him, descend to this material world to execute certain specific functions. Originally, the Lord is full of all opulences, all prowess, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation. When they are partly manifested through the planetary portions or parts of the planetary portions, it should be noted that certain manifestations of his different powers are required for those particular functions. When in this room small electric bulbs are displayed, it does not mean that the electric powerhouse is limited by the small bulbs. The same powerhouse can supply power to operate large-scale industrial dynamos with greater volts. Similarly, the incarnations of the Lord display limited powers because so much power is needed at that particular time. Shall I continue? For example, yeah.
Yeah, Mataji, let me request Mother devotees to lead.
Hare Krishna.
Archana Mataji, you can lead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Pranam. Jai Srila Prabhupada. For example, Lord Parashurama and Lord Nrsimha displayed unusual opulence by killing the disobedient Kshatriyas 21 times and killing the greatly powerful atheist Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was so powerful that even the demigods in other planets would tremble simply by the unfavorable raising of his eyebrow. The demigods in the higher level of material existence many times excel the most well-to-do human beings in the duration of life, beauty, wealth, paraphernalia, and all other respects. Still, they were afraid of Hiranyakashipu. Thus, we can simply imagine how powerful Hiranyakashipu was in this material world. But even Hiranyakashipu was cut into small pieces by the nails of Lord Nrsimha. This means that anyone materially powerful cannot stand the strength of Lord's nails. Similarly, Jamadagnya displayed the Lord's power to kill all disobedient kings powerfully situated in their respective states. The Lord's empowered incarnation Narada and plenary incarnation Varaha, as well as indirectly empowered Lord Buddha, created faith in the mass of people. The incarnations of Rama and Dhanvantari displayed his fame, and Balarama, Mohini, and Vamana exhibited his beauty. Dattatreya, Matsya, Kumara, and Kapila exhibited his transcendental knowledge. Nara and Narayana rishis exhibited his renunciation. So all different indirectly and or directly empowered incarnations of the Lord manifested different features, but Lord Krishna, the primeval Lord, exhibited the complete features of Godhead, and thus it is confirmed that he is the source of all other incarnations. And the most extraordinary feature exhibited by Lord Sri Krishna was his internal energetic manifestation of his pastimes with the cowherd girls. His pastimes with the gopis are all displays of transcendental existence, bliss, and knowledge, although these are manifested apparently as sex love. The specific attraction of his pastimes with the gopis should never be misunderstood. The Bhagavatam relates these transcendental pastimes in the 10th canto, and in order to reach the position to understand the transcendental nature of Lord Krishna's pastimes with the gopis, the Bhagavatam promotes the student gradually in 9 other cantos. According to Srila
Krishna Prabhuji, please ask another person to lead, Prabhuji.
Yes. Okay.
Divya Mataji, she is raising hand. Please continue,
Okay.
Mataji, quickly.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you. According to Srila Jiva Goswami's statement, in accordance with authoritative sources, Lord Krishna is the source of all other incarnation. It is not that Lord Krishna has any source of incarnation. All the symptoms of the supreme truth in full are present in the person of Lord Krishna, Lord Sri Krishna, and in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord emphatically declares that there is no truth greater than an equal to himself. In this stanza, the word Swayam is particularly mentioned to confirm that Lord Krishna has no other source than himself. Although in other places the incarnations are described as Bhagavan because of their specific functions. Now where are they declared to be? Nowhere they are declared to be the supreme personality. In this stanza, the word Swayam signifies the supremacy as the Samuha Bonam.
Samam Bonam. Yes, ma'am.
Samam Bonam. The Samam Bonam Krishna is one without a second. He himself has expanded himself in various parts, portions, and particles as Swayam Rupa, Swayam Prakasha, Tad Ekatam, Ekatma, Prabhava, Vaibhava, Vilasa, Avatara, Avesha, and Jivas, all provided with innumerable energies just suitable to the respective persons and personalities. Learned scholars in transcendental subjects have carefully analyzed the Samambonam Krishna to have 64 principal attributes. All the expansions or categories of the Lord possess only some percentages of these attributes. But Sri Krishna is the possessor of the attributes cent percent, and his personal expansions such as Swayam Prakasha and Tat Ekatma up to the categories of the avatars who are all Vishnu Tattva possesses up to 93% of these transcendental attributes. Lord Shiva, who is neither avatara nor avesha nor in between them, possesses almost 84% of the attributes. But the jivas or the individual living beings in different status of life possess up to the limit of 78% of the attribute. In the conditioned state of material existence, the living
Krishna
being
Prabhuji. Oh, okay. Continue, Mataji. It is almost end.
possesses these attributes in very minute quantity, varying in terms of the pious life of the living being. The most perfect of living being is Brahma, the supreme administrator of one universe. He possesses 78% of the attribute in full. All other demigods have the same attribute in less quantity, whereas human being possesses the attribute in very minute quantity. The standard of perfection for a human being is to develop the attribute up to 78% in full. The living being can never possess attributes like Shiva, Vishnu, or Lord Krishna. A living being can become godly by developing the 78% transcendental attribute in fullness, but he can never become a god like Shiva, Vishnu, or Krishna. He can become a Brahma in due course. The godly living beings who are all residents of the planet in spiritual sky are eternal associates of God in different spiritual planets called Haridama and Maheshadama. The abode of Krishna, Lord Krishna above all spiritual planets is called Krishna Loka or Goloka Vrindavana, and the perfected living being by developing 78% of the above attribute in fullness can enter the planet of Krishna Loka after leaving the present material body. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So, here we understand that Krishna is the avatari and all other incarnations are avatars. And maximum exhibition of the strength by any incarnation is 93%. Only Krishna has 100%. Now, only 2 points here. One, we should never compare that Lord Narsimadev came and he protected only Prahlad Maharaja and he killed only Hiranyakashipu. That was the role that Narsimadev was supposed to do in that pastime. The more important thing than that is, if within ourselves there are so many problems, and if the Lord can kill Hiranyakashipu, who was so powerful, let us pray to the Lord that he saves us from this so-called lust, anger, greed, these problems. If Lord can kill Hiranyakashipu, he can kill these problems also. We just have to surrender. And the second point I want to mention here is, this shloka is one of the very, very important tool in the hands of preacher. Because if someone says, what is the proof that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead? Okay, when we go into that discussion, we should avoid that, because it was asked to some devotees, like, do you follow other demigods? They said, yeah, we follow them, but we don't have a time. Krishna keeps us so much engaged that we never get free even for a minute. So our mood towards the other demigods should be very, very respectful. They are the chosen, selected souls by the Lord. And if we cannot be grateful to the appointed authorities by the Lord, then it is a disrespect to the Lord. But then at the same time, as we heard from the example of the devotees, they are so busy not getting time anything else other than serving Krishna. So, and when those discussion goes further, then we can take the help of this verse. Okay, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Okay, Krishna astu Bhagwan Swayam. Krishna is the Swayam Bhagwan. Okay, and Abhinatva Nam Namino, the name of the Lord and the Lord Himself. There is no difference. Another very important shloka in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay, so when we chant, we are with the Swayam Bhagwan directly. Okay, we'll go a little faster. Only 3 minutes are left. Anuradha Mataji, can you read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Janma guhyam bhagavato ya etat prayato naraha sayam prarthar prunana bhaktya dukkha pramada vimuchyate. Hare Krishna. Shall I read the translation?
Yes, Mataji.
Whoever carefully, translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Whoever carefully recites the mysterious appearance of the Lord with devotion in the morning and in the evening gets relief from all mysteries of life.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Let us read the purport also quickly.
Shall I read?
Okay, I see Kusumlata Mataji. Mataji, can you read the purport?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the Bhagavad Gita, the personality of Godhead has declared that anyone who knows the principles of the transcendental birth and activities of the Lord will go back to Godhead after being relieved from this material tabernacle. So, simply knowing factually the mysterious way of the Lord's incarnation in this material world can liberate one from material bondage. Therefore, the birth and activities of the Lord, as manifested by Him for the welfare of the people in general, are not ordinary. They are mysterious, and only by those who are carefully try to go deep into the matter by spiritual devotion is the mystery discovered. Thus, one gets liberation from material bondage. It is advised, therefore, that one who simply recites of Bhagavad Gita, this word is not seen.
Recites this chapter of
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Bhagavatam, describing the appearance of the Lord in different incarnations, in sincerity and devotion. Such a person can have insight into the birth and activities of the Lord. The very word vimukti or liberation indicates that the Lord's birth and activities are all transcendental. Otherwise, simply by reciting them, one could not attain liberation.
Yes, it is advised, therefore, that one who simply recites this chapter of Bhagavatam, describing the appearance of the Lord in different incarnations, in sincerity and devotion, can have insight into the birth and activities of the Lord. The very word vimukti or liberation indicates that the Lord's birth and activities are all transcendental. Otherwise, simply by reciting them, one could not attain liberation. They are therefore mysterious, and those who do not follow the prescribed regulations of the devotional service are not entitled to enter into the mysteries of his births and activities. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Marji. So this verse directly matches with the Srimad Bhagavatam 4.9. Janma karma cha me divyam
यो एवं योति तत्त्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नैति मामेति सो अर्जुन.
So Arjuna.
Mataji, yes. So, yes, one who understands the transcendental nature of birth and the activities of the Lord,
मैं
such a
रीड
person
कर
does
रही
not
थी
have
क्या
to come.
करती मेरे को तो ऐसे
Such a person,
होती है.
Krishna. Okay, so such a person does not have to take the birth again, okay, because it is all transcendental. Well, how can we understand transcendental when we are on the material platform? It's a very important question, right? We are always under the three modes of the material nature. Our mind intelligence has a limit. They cannot understand. They cannot meditate upon something which is beyond the experience of our mind and intelligence. But then how do we get rid of this? And then the answer is taking the shelter of someone who can see beyond. If we are following a queue, and if the leader of the queue has the vision to go out of the circle, then yes, we have to remain seated in that queue, follow what they say, and try to do our best. Our best has no significance in terms of the qualifications which are needed to reach back to the Godhead. But we following a right leader who has the capability is all our strength. If we say we chant 16 rounds, we chant 25 rounds, and we chant 64 rounds, yes, it is good. That shows our little bit of endeavor that we can do. But then at the end, we still have to depend taking the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. Otherwise, we will be in our own world. We will be thinking we are progressing. We will be having all the kinds of thoughts. This devotee cannot chant so many rounds, and I can do it. So I am even more advanced devotee. That's why when it is the initial time in our Krishna consciousness, that is a pure devotional service. How? Because that person does not know any kind of offense. So it is the best business. Nityanand Prabhu says it is dasturi, commission. When we distribute the holy name of the Lord, we get commission. And if the currency is the faith, then in the commission, we get the faith. And that is the world's best commission that we can get, because it is never going to exhaust. So when we connect, we have to do both the things. Srila Prabhupada says boiling the milk. Boiling the milk means those devotees. This is another very important line. Okay, Srila Prabhupada says that if we have expended good amount now, and if those devotees who are connected, if we keep them inspired, if we keep them very well enthusiastic for doing their services for their spiritual life, that is called boiling the milk, right? Boiling the milk means milk is there, make it more condensed. Because if we this is the beautiful platform that we have got in ICF, right? All the devotees coming forward irrespective of the distance, and then coming forward and taking part in hearing the Lord's pastime. So namna makari bahuda, right? There is no time and we can do it anytime. There is no rules and regulations. Bhagavatam is Amal Purana. The next verse, and we are already over time. With your permission, can we read this last verse? We will read only the, okay, small only. We'll read it next 2 minutes. Is everyone okay? Like,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. May I?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Anyone
Prabhuji,
ready?
yes.
Anyone is interested to recite? Please. Okay, Prabhuji, I will recite. ये तद्रूपं भगवतो यरूपस्य चिदात्मनः माया गुणैर्विरचितं महादादिभिरात्मनि. Translation by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Some Bhargavi Mataji is waiting. Prabhuji, let she recite.
So translation by Bhargavi Mataji and the purport by Prabhuji. Vikram.
Translation. The conception of the Virat, universal form of the Lord, as appearing in the material world is imaginary. It is to enable the less intelligent and neophytes to adjust to the idea of Lord's having form. But factually, the Lord has no material form. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes. Prabhuji, can you please read? Vikram Prabhu.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The conception of Lord known as the Vishwarupa or the Virat Rupa is particularly not mentioned along with the various incarnations of the Lord, because all the incarnations of the Lord mentioned above are transcendental and there is not a single tinge of materialism in their bodies. There is no difference between the body and self as there is in the conditioned soul. The Virat Rupa is conceived for those who are just neophyte worshippers. For them, the material Virat Rupa is presented, and it will be explained in the second canto. In the Virat Rupa, the material manifestations of different planets have been conceived as his legs, hands, etc. Actually, all such descriptions are for the neophytes. The neophytes cannot conceive of anything beyond matter. The material conception of the Lord is not counted in the list of his factual form as Paramatma or Supersoul. The Lord is within each and every material form, even within the atoms, but the outward material form is but an imagination. Both for the Lord and for the living being, the present forms of the conditioned souls are also not factual. The conclusion is that the material conception of the body of the Lord as Virat is imaginary. Both the Lord and the living beings are living spirits and have original spiritual bodies. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. So, the Virat Rupa of incarnation of the Lord, Arjuna was shown that Virat Rupa. And then, as soon as he saw that Virat Rupa, he immediately requested the Lord to please come back into his normal form. If the Virat Rupa itself was so much of blissful, right, then Arjuna would have not requested that. This is point number one. Point two, that like Srila Prabhupada says, in the second canto, when we discuss about the secondary creation, how Brahmaji created this world, universe, there all the kinds of elements into this universe, they are compared to different parts of the Lord. But that is not the most blissful form of the Lord. That is just for the neophytes. It is still fine. Our Krishna consciousness is the most accommodative philosophy in the world. We don't reject anybody. Depending on the level, the person can surrender. Okay, Virat Rupa attracts you. No problem. You begin with that. At least becoming a neophyte is better than not following it. Right? Neophyte has a second stage, but not following neophyte has no second stage. Okay, so with this we conclude here, and I'm sorry for again getting late, and my mistake. Try to correct it. If devotees wants to like leave from the meeting, please feel you're welcome to leave. If anyone has any questions, we can discuss it now.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam. I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the wonderful explanation. I just have a small question. It was mentioned that Shiva is not an avatar, he is not an Avesha, and he's nothing between them. But when we see the Goloka chart, it's from Mahavishnu's forehead, Shiva appears. So how do we define that then, if he's not an avatar or a Avesha or anything between them?
Okay, so Mataji, the abode of the Lord is like Sadashiv. Okay, so from Sadashiv, like Mahesh Dham, which was mentioned in some part of the purport, that has come. Now, our point of view of looking at Lord Shiva should be following. One, there is no difference between the Lord and Shiva. And Prabhupada gives one standard example of this, like milk and the curd. A milk can be transformed into curd. Lord Shiva represents the curd. Okay, but you cannot make the milk from the curd. Krishna is the milk. Both are same, but there is difference. Second point of view, Shiva is the topmost devotee of the Lord. If we will see it in our own lifetime. So many devotees who are staunch follower of Lord Shiva. Shiva does not keep them with him. He is a selfless devotee of the Lord. He passes them further to Krishna. This is point number 2. Point 3, if Lord Shiva is the one who could take that poison to serve and to save this material world, so that we devotees can practice our Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, we will not have been here today. So we must look at Lord Shiva with great and topmost of respect. But at the same time, this is a little sensitive topic, because at the same time when we say they both are same, and then don't compare. In this Krishna consciousness journey, we are here. Krishna does not reject anybody, right? This is what we just discussed. Everyone has a path to move forward. Shiva, we cannot imagine. Ram Ram Rameti Rame Ramo Manorame Sahasra Nama Tatulyam Ram Nam Varanane. Lord Shiva is telling to Mother Parvati that reciting the name of Lord Rama once is equal to 1000 names of Vishnu Sahasranam. So Lord Shiva can see those things which we cannot. If we really want to please Lord Shiva, we should do the things which he expects from us. Does this answer your question to some extent, Mataji?
Yes, I mean, whatever you said is true, but I was just like, Shiva is also generated from Vishnu. That is what I was trying to ask. So then
Yes.
how come he's not an expansion or, or a plenary portion? That is what I was trying to understand.
Devotee, topmost devotee, no, Prabhuji? Devotee of Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. In the
Shiva.
1.3.28. Sorry,
Hare
Prabhuji, please continue.
Lord Shiva was generated by Brahma, no? When he was in Tamasa stage. Am I
Yes.
correct? Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
See,
But Lord Shiva was already there even before that. In this universe, yes, Lord Shiva has come from Brahmaji. But Lord Shiva is eternal. He's always there.
Yeah.
This is where the Mahesh Dham is well above the Satyaloka, which is the abode of Brahmaji.
True.
And we were discussing that Lord Shiva has got, I guess, 78 or 84. I think 78%.
84%.
Okay. So 1.3.28 is a beautiful tool in our hand. It can help to clarify all such doubts. Yes, from the Lord Krishna only, that Sankarsana and
that is what I meant. Yeah. So when Sankarsana expands, then the Chaturvyu comes and then the Narayan.
Yes.
So
yes.
Do we understand that even Shiva comes from one of those Chaturvyu, expansions, or he was already there along with Sri Krishna? That is what I was trying to understand. Because when we see the Goloka chart, it's like Mahavishnu, he from his forehead comes Shiva to create to have union with Prakriti, and so then there is progeny.
Yes, correct. So everything has emanated from the Lord only, Mataji. Yes.
Yeah,
so does the Lord Shiva also. Yes.
Okay. But still we don't call it a expansion or Avesha. That is what is mentioned in Bhagavatam.
No, Mataji, he's the topmost body. Yes.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Yes, I see the hand of Vikram Prabhuji. You want to ask something, Prabhu, or it was previously raised?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. No, I want to ask one question.
Please.
As Krishna is there is Vishnu also, and they are same or they are not? Because this is a very big question. I had been to many these things, but still my question still remains.
Okay, so for this, the very nice analogy that Srila Prabhupada gives is that Krishna is the CEO of a company in his house. He still has all the potencies, all the powers, all the rights to take big decision. But when he is at home, he is carrying his grandson on his shoulder and he is becoming elephant to play with him. Now, Narayana is the same CEO in the office. When he's there in the office, then everyone respects him and they come very formally. They take the signature, they take the permission, and entire business of the company is run by the CEO when he's in office. So now what do we understand from this? Yes, both are same person. But as compared to Vaikuntha, where the Lord is worshipped in the form of Lakshmi Narayana, Goloka Vrindavana is even more full of love, and where the Vrindavan Vasis don't even know that Krishna is the Bhagwan, and Krishna himself does not know he is the Bhagwan, and then everyone is attracted towards the Lord. When the cow is feeding his calf in the evening, and suddenly when she finds Krishna is coming, then she immediately leave the calf, and everybody is running towards taking care of, towards having a glance of the Lord. They don't know what is happening, but they are into it. So this is called the Leela Shakti. When the Agasura was there, then everyone knew this is something strange. This kind of cave was not there earlier. But then they had a full belief, Krishna is there. He will protect us. Nothing to worry. So, yes. Does that answer your question, Prabhu? Same person in the form of accepting the worship, and same person accepting only and only and only love through the devotional service. Srila Prabhupada has given us this platform of doing a devotional service, pure devotional service.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, but there is one question only. I mean, it's the same similar question. Krishna ji and Radha ji as one, and then Lakshmi and Narayan as one, right? But both kept on the same level, but in different forms. There is love. There is things. I mean, I'm just putting it in the official way because. So, is it the right thing to do to the both the gods, or how it will be, or we have to follow Krishna, or we have to follow the Vishnu?
Okay, so all our acharyas, we have to sorry, we have to understand all the questions in the light of what our acharyas are telling. Our acharyas are there is a literature which explains the role of all our previous acharyas into the Krishna Leela. Okay, and then all our acharyas, they are the manjaris. And what is manjari? Manjari is the closest associate of Srimati Radharani. So we worship Krishna because Radharani likes him. For us, our relation, it is, I mean, we should not compare it as a mundane platform, but just for the sake of analogy, we worship our brother-in-law, Jijaji, because he has married our sister. Right? Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the Param Purusha. All the planetary systems are working just by at his glance. Well, it is true, but only Srimati Radharani can control Krishna. In the other forms of the worship, where we worship Vishnuji, okay, considering him as the prime, or considering Krishna as the prime, then looking at our situation, looking at our cry, Krishna will still come. But then what is the tool to keep Krishna with us when he comes? It is a lifetime after lifetime opportunity that Krishna has finally appeared in front of us. But then what can hold Krishna with us always? And the answer is service to Srimati Radharani. If Srimati Radharani is there, Krishna will come automatically. This is what was told by Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj, all our acharyas, Rupa Goswami, everyone.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Today's class was excellent. And one point I would like to say is, you said a point that we are struggling in many Kali Yugas, and we don't know how we came into Krishna consciousness in this Janma. That is because we had some earlier account. That point was very nice, Prabhuji. Definitely, we all will think some punya we have done, something we have done in the previous life. That's why we have reached here. So from here, we should at least try to be in the proper path. That point was very nice, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Manaji. I just repeated the words of our seniors. Yes, but yeah, it is true because we had sorry, because we had this material desire, little bit at least, to further experience. There are two kind of muktis. One is krama mukti, another is direct worship and direct liberation. Krama mukti means, yes, I want to worship the Lord, but then I want to see the heaven once, and then I want to see the higher planetary systems once, and then from Brahma Loka, if I go, then I will finally reach to the Lord. But then I just want to experience other planets also because I have this desire. So we are not so elevated when we get a small WhatsApp message, our entire consciousness becomes tossed, right? And then taking a birth into a loka and then going through the happiness and distress of that may easily deviate us. So we should not have any smallest desire also. The best part is, I don't know whether we discussed, we are already running over time. So I request like other devotees who wants to leave, please don't leave first. So I was passing by, going to a center, and then on the way, I saw a series of shops of slaughterhouses. And then one small realization that I got with the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and you Vaishnavas is that I was seeing that face of a slaughtered animal. Then following thoughts came in my mind. One, we are also getting slaughtered by the Maya every single day. We don't want to do the things, but it happens with us. So we are getting slaughtered every single day. And then second point, what is the difference between that slaughtered animal and us? The difference is we are alive. And the third and the most important point is we know Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We are alive. Yes, we are getting slaughtered, but we are alive and we know at least theoretically, we know how powerful the name of the Lord is. So not now, again, we have taken enough birth. If we count the number of our children that we have gathered in our all previous life, that is more than the population of this universe. It is enough. We don't want to get into another cycle. So many births we have taken. Population is huge. Yes, but we ourselves had so many children in our previous lives. Putting together, that was more than the population of this universe. So enough is enough, and then we have to wind up this business. Not even a tinge of smallest desire now. Srila Prabhupada says to Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, you give me this lifetime, and he gave this. Now it is our turn. If ISKCON has to continue for 10,000 years, it is a very big responsibility on each one of us. We cannot afford any kind of carelessness, and we have to be very firm, because what we are practicing, we are going to give to the next generation. If you want to give a very lousy and very free to do anytime kind of Krishna consciousness to the next generation, it will be very difficult how ISKCON will be going on in next 10,000 years. Prabhupada has said it, so it has to happen, right? So we have to do our part. Nimit Matra, we have to become. Arjuna did not kill. Arjuna was the Nimit Matra. We have to be just instrument, and Lord will do everything. We don't have to do anything. He will give the ideas. He will give the opportunities. He'll give the platform. Any other questions, comments? Okay, Prabhuji and Mataji, kindly forgive me once again for the overrun time.